Hello, hello, my lovely Virgos. Welcome back to the channel today. This is going to be your weekly reading for March 25th through April 7th. Here we go. We're getting some new ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's move all these down. On March 25th, on Monday, with your first card, Virgo, we do have a full moon happening in the sign of Libra. We will talk about that as we go. My neighbors are doing yard work. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Virgo, I have been kind of doing something a little bit different with the readings today. I will admit I didn't do it with the first 3 signs for the week, so Gemini, Aries, Taurus, or Gemini. I didn't do this with them because I didn't think about it. But I did a video a couple weeks ago with the Spirit Animal Oracle, and I just really liked the deck, and I was like, hey, I don't use these that often. I really should incorporate them more into my readings. So I am using this deck. We're going to be talking about a few of these cards, kind of getting a view of some of the energy that we're dealing with first. We'll also have another Oracle deck featured at the very end, but we'll get to that as we get there. Your first card is the Sandpiper Spirit, which says, be playful. Your next card here is the Antelope Spirit, which says, life is speeding up. So there is going to be some fast movement happening here for you. Be playful. Allow this experience to, move forward in an organic manner. And then you have the Frog Spirit, which says clean out the clutter. So Virgo, your time to shine, clearing out the clutter of things that are no longer serving you. When things speed up, we can't allow ourselves to be weighed down by clutter and things within the mind or within our physical reality taking up space. So be playful, allow things to move organically. Things are going to be going really fast. Clearing out the clutter to make room for the new that will be brought in from this experience and from this movement. Let's get to the actual tarot here for your next 2 weeks. As I was saying, on Monday, the 25th, we have a full moon happening in the sign of Libra. So Virgo, double check what house Libra falls in for you so that you can see where this full moon will be affecting you. But your first card here, Virgo, is the 4 of Wands in reverse for that Libra full moon. So this full moon is going to be highlighting some things that need to change within your household. The 4 of Wands is the card of marriage a lot of times. It's also a lot of times our foundation, so like our actual physical home foundations, but also like where we are choosing to place our energy. The 4 of Wands is also like a card of, it's a portal card, right? Because when you see this card in the tarot, this is 2 becoming 1. This is the portal from your old life into your new life. In the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you see this archway from, a marriage. And you see people standing on the other side of it, like welcoming you through this archway. And it's meant to represent, this marriage and moving from the place of your single life into the place of a new life. And so, well, I don't think necessarily a lot of you will technically be getting married on this day. I think that a lot of it is about looking at your home, looking at your space, and clearing out the clutter. Maybe this is you realizing that there is clutter within your home, feeling unbalanced about it and feeling like there's a lot of changes that need to be made, things not living up to your expectations within your home. So 4 of Wands in reverse. It's sometimes also this resistance about making this change, this resistance about seeing this transformation happen. Some of you could actually, with that Antelope Spirit, life is speeding up. Some of you with that 4 of Wands being in reverse could actually be losing your home in some way. And I don't mean that in like I'm not saying this is like some crazy prediction of natural disaster. But what I mean by that is, I guess, reevaluating your home, losing your home in the sense of like realizing that it doesn't feel like you in some way. Realizing that, maybe the decorations that you have don't accurately reflect who you are, or that, things just don't feel happy. You don't feel happy or connected with your home at this time. And finding a way to, allow yourself to move in, allow yourself to like actually move in for your space, be in your space. Your next card on Tuesday here is the Six of Swords. This is about allowing something to move on. So, we said life is speeding up. Things are going to be happening really fast. This is about allowing something to move on. This could be a painful experience from the past, because a lot of times this is moving on from a past pain experience. Allowing yourself to move into a fresh energy, moving away from the things that have been hurting you or the things that have been causing you anxiety for a while. Moving away from that. I mean, we have that sandpiper spirit, be playful, allowing yourself some time to be playful. The playfulness is what helps you move along from this painful experience here with that Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is literally allowing things to flow away from you along the river of life. As you move down the river away from things, allowing things to get further and further away from you, allowing things to pass by on the river and not grabbing them or fishing them out of the water for yourself. Moving on to Wednesday, you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Virgo. So a lot of you could have been working very hard on building this space for yourself. I mean, with that Four of Wands, you could have even been building a marriage or building a relationship or a house. Building, like, yes, physically building a house, but I mean like building your home. It's not necessarily so much about the house. It's about your home. What does your home environment feel like? What kind of feelings do you want your house to evoke in yourself? Do you want cleanliness and minimalism? Do you want brightness and happiness and, an eclectic mix of trinkets for yourself that make you happy? Do you want, something that looks like it could be part of like an HGTV home reno thing, right? So thinking about the way that you want your life to feel, thinking about the way you want your house to feel, your home, your life within. Not necessarily like, for those of you who like maybe don't have a house or don't have a place to call your own or don't have, the means to take care of or redo your own space. Maybe you live at home with your parents. Maybe you rent and you don't really want to make permanent changes to your place because you know that you're going to be leaving soon. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse is like feeling like this work that you're doing is pointless. This is a person who's put in a lot of practice towards achieving something. So Virgo, you've been putting in a lot of work. You've been putting in a lot of practice to achieve this thing, and feeling as though this work has been for nothing, or feeling as though you're doing all this work and what's the point? What's the point in it? Because I'm not the one seeing the return from this thing. I'm not the one seeing the results of my hard work or my labor here. I'm doing all this stuff, but it's really going to be for what purpose, what point, is really what that Eight of Pentacles is. Moving on to Thursday, you have the Temperance card in reverse here, Virgo. Temperance is finding this balance. It's the push and pull. How much do I put in and how much do I take? Temperance is understanding that you can only put so much towards something, right? Temperance is that knowing of, for example, when you're watering a plant, right? It's very easy to overwater a plant. You have to know the balance between how much is too much water for this plant, how much is not enough water. Am I giving this thing the optimal growing conditions that it needs? And temperance is the knowing. Temperance is the knowledge and the discipline to do so. And that's really what it is it's discipline. And with this card being in the reverse, Virgo, a lot of you could be struggling with that discipline. Or, and when I say struggling with that discipline, feel like for some of you, it's not struggling with discipline in like not doing this thing or not building this thing. I feel like this is almost on the flip side of it, where you have been putting in so much effort for this thing that you have unbalanced yourself in this way. I feel like you've been putting in so much effort towards building this thing or seeing this result that you're almost like hurting yourself more by trying to force this thing to happen. So, I don't know. It just feels very weird. Moving on to Friday, Virgo, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Swords is normally this is a person who has clear insight. This is a person who has clear mind, clear thought to make decisions. Your very next card is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is literally wielded here by the Queen of Swords. This is literally what she's doing, is she's holding the Ace of Swords, the opportunity, the thought, and the willpower, the pure willpower behind doing something, and she's wielding it for herself. She knows what she wants. She knows what direction she needs to go and what she needs to do, what action she needs to take to achieve something. With the Queen of Swords being in reverse, Virgo, this is you not having that clear thought, not being in tune with what your next step of the process is. Almost feeling as though there is so much to do, so much to take up, that you're overwhelmed by how much there is to deal with at this time. And I just also feel like a lot of you are trying, it's like, the image I'm getting is like you sitting in the dark. Not even just sitting in the dark, but like sitting in the dark with a blindfold on and having someone trying to like ask you to describe a picture in front of your face, right? It's something that's like you can do as much as you can with what you have. You know, you can touch the painting, you can smell the painting, but like you can hear the texture of your hand on the canvas or whatever it is. But you can't explain color. You can't explain what it is unless you have very good tactile knowledge. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting, is that it's like you're trying to figure out how to explain or describe something, how to bring something into being when you're blind to it. You haven't even seen it for yourself. And we talked a little bit about the Ace of Swords, but your next card here is the Ace of Swords. And I feel like this is telling you, Virgo, to just pick one thing. Just pick one thing at this time. It's literally clearing out the clutter, right? So the Queen of Swords, if you feel cluttered, if you feel like your thoughts are cluttered, if you feel like there is so much going on that it is distracting you from being able to do things properly, clear out the clutter. Take it down to just one thing here. With that Ace of Swords, take it down to the one thing that you can do, the one thing that you can achieve at this time. Clear out the mental clutter keeping you from doing something, doing this thing, achieving this thing, building this thing for yourself. Because that Ace of Swords is your willpower. It's that inspiration, that beginning thought that reminds you of why you did this in the first place. And then your next card here, your last card for week 1, is the Queen of Cups. So, Virgo, you also need to follow your intuition at this time. The Queen of Cups is an individual who is very in tune with her intuition. She's also very in tune with her emotions. She knows and understands that her emotions are guiding posts, right? Guiding lights that help her navigate where she's going, right? She is not her emotions, but she allows her emotions to flow. And she is, she's a mermaid. When you look at the Queen of Cups, this is a mermaid. This is someone who is in the water, who is attuned with the water, lives in the water, and breathes the water. And there's just this flow that she allows to happen. And it doesn't control her. There's tides, there's currents within the ocean, within the water, that can take you certain places, but it doesn't have to control you, right? She doesn't allow her emotions to control her. She realizes them for the tools that they are, guiding lights. You know, you can take a current and have it help you go faster in a direction you want to go. She knows how to utilize these things to her advantage without being controlled by them. So Virgo, you know, your emotions, following your heart, following your flow, and allowing yourself to be in tune with your thoughts, your feelings, your heart. And that brings us to week 2 here. Week 2 on Monday, we actually start off on April 1st on Monday. And you have the Empress card here, Virgo. So actually, the Empress and the Queen of Cups, when you look, they're both very similar cards. Very similar shapes, very similar body postures and people on the cards. I almost switched them up. The difference here, Virgo, is that the Empress is about, it's not just about emotional abundance. Well, yes, the Empress does have emotional abundance. This is the growth, the harvest. The Empress is the person who can nurture. It's literally about like fertility. And I mean, like for some of you, I guess it could be, you know, physical fertility. But it's really about the ability to nurture something into growth. Fertility in the sense of like preparing the soil, making sure it has all its nutrients and all the optimum tools available so that this thing can grow under the best conditions. Fertility in the sense of like building something to achieve a harvest, and not necessarily, I mean, yes, the Empress can be physical fertility, but this is not a reading on whether or not you'll get pregnant, right? I'm not saying you'll get pregnant. I'm saying that, like, the Empress has this ability to birth something into life, to create life, and to bring it into reality. I mean, I didn't talk about this in your reading so far, but in the last reading, for the reading prior to yours, I did Leo's reading, and they had the Ace of Wands. And wands are... it's our manifestation. It's our ability to bring something from the intangible, from the mind realm within our mind. It's our ability to bring something from the mind and to bring it into reality, to transform it from just a thought into an actual tangible object that we can hold and experience. The Empress is the birther. This is the person who births this into reality. So I'm not saying you're going to give birth. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, obviously, because, you know, there's lots of people on this reading who are not necessarily able or have the ability to birth physically. This is like the spiritual birth process. So having an idea, having a thing that you want to see for yourself. And I mean, we talked about the home, right? We talked about the home and your heart with that Four of Wands. And the Empress is literally the nurturer. This is the person of the home. This is the person who is able to nurture their home, to look at their home and to build it for the best ground for them to plant, to achieve this fertility of their thoughts and their ideas that they want to see birthed into life. Your next card here is the Eight of Wands in reverse for Tuesday, week 2. And I think this card is kind of funny because we had the Antelope Spirit, which said life is speeding up, followed by like the card of anti-speed, which is the Eight of Wands in reverse, right? This card is normally like in the upright. Yeah, I would say this aligns really, really well with things speeding up, right? In the reverse, now most of the time this means that things are not happening fast enough for what you think they should, or things happening like you want them to happen faster and things feel like they're moving at a crawl. But I feel like because you had this Antelope Spirit of life speeding up, I feel like what's actually happening is that life is speeding up. This change, this speed is happening very, very fast, Virgo, and you are just not prepared for how fast things change, how fast things come in for you, and how fast you see a transformation of this space, a transformation of your home and your life after becoming aware of I mean, we talk about the home, we talk about nurturing. These two cards here, the Queen of Cups and the Empress, are literally like the nurturers of the home. These are the people who, and that's a Saturday and a Sunday and a Monday. So like some of you could be doing a lot of this clearing out the clutter on the weekend, taking the time to, you know, build your home, and you're just not prepared for how fast things happen and how fast things change. Your next card is the Six of Wands, though. So there is a victory. There is a sense of victory about this happening. Even though this change is happening fast and you're not prepared for it, you are actually very happy about the way that it is going. You are actually very happy about the way that things are moving at this time. So, you know, it could be bringing in an unexpected victory, a victory that maybe you weren't anticipating, but it's not an unwelcomed victory. Some of you, you know, Virgo, I feel like some of you, if you are worried about possibly getting pregnant, if you don't want to be pregnant, I would say that I would be extra cautious, because these 3 cards for the first of these 2 weeks at the very end here, or the very beginning of this week 2 here, does feel very much like unexpected pregnancy kind of things. Like finding out you're pregnant and things changing, but ultimately you still feel very happy about being pregnant. So if you don't want to get pregnant, Virgo, I would say use protection. But outside of unexpected pregnancy things, I do feel like whatever this change is, whatever this thing that's happening that's, you know, going very fast, it's not an unwelcomed change. Let's talk about your next card here. You have the Knight of Wands in reverse on Thursday. So, this is doubting your ability to manifest this thing. The Knight of Wands is the person who is normally in the upright. This is a person who is like so confident about their abilities, so confident about their power to achieve something, their power to do something, that they're almost like cocky about it. They have a very big ego about their ability to do it. Like, this is the person who thinks that they can never fail kind of thing, right? So when I see this card in the reverse, I think that it's like needing to connect with that part of you that is confident, understanding your power and your influence. As much as like we don't always enjoy being around people who are overly confident like that, I feel like with the Knight of Wands in reverse, Virgo, you're just not giving yourself enough credit for how much you bring to the table. It's not just about doubting your abilities or doubting yourself and your magic to do this thing, but I really feel like it's doubting, it's almost like you doubt your confidence entirely. Like, there is just no confidence about your ability to do this. But I think you, of all people in this situation right here, Virgo, I think of all people, you do deserve to be a little bit cocky. I think that you just need to reconnect with your confidence and your power to do this thing so that you can feel confident moving forward. On Friday here, Virgo, you move to the Ten of Swords in reverse. With this lack of confidence, sometimes after these things, we can become aware of painful things that require a little bit of work or management from us. And what I mean by that is, you know, if our confidence is shot, this is when we need to do the work about figuring out why we are feeling this way. Are we actually confident and just tearing ourselves down because we feel like we're not allowed to be celebrating our confidence? This feels like an old wound that needs to be addressed in some way, or like an old wound or an old scar that like you become aware of at this point. I kind of get this like old scar hurting again. That's just what I'm feeling. It feels like a scar is hurting again. So there could have been something in your past that happened, something that was painful, a traumatic event or ending of some sort, that on this day in particular, it's bringing up a lot of this pain. it almost feels like a wound that someone is just picking at again. I don't know how else to explain it. And I feel like part of that is from this Knight of Wands in reverse, this lack of confidence. It's so strange to me. I mean, you go from the Six of Wands of victory, and it's almost like someone slaps you down and says, no, you're not allowed to be happy. You're not allowed to be confident. You need to go be in your little box somewhere else because your overconfidence or your happiness about this thing bothers me personally. So that's just for some of you what I'm feeling like. It's bringing up some old wounds, bringing up some old pain for you. Saturday for week 2, Virgo, you move to the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So this is about balance, finding balance. It's kind of like that Temperance card. Temperance is the knowing, but the Pentacles is the actual balance. Sometimes this shows up as like unexpected help from people within our lives. Or in your case, since this is in reverse, this could be an unexpected setback. Sometimes I feel like this might be a small financial setback, but I feel like overall it's for a good cause, is what I'm getting. That, you know, maybe you take a pay cut from a different job because it's going to give you more free time, or it's going to put you in a better position overall to help take care of your family or your life. It does feel very unbalanced, though. It feels like you're maybe struggling to cope with some of the expectations. So even though it seemed initially like it was going to cause you less stress to be in this position, I feel like there may be a couple hiccups here and there where you feel like there are just some pieces that are being brought into your mind of responsibilities that maybe you weren't quite anticipating, that just because of this small season that you're in right now, feel very daunting at this time. And lastly, Virgo, you end with the Emperor here for your last card for Sunday, April 7th. Guys, I cannot get the months right for the life of me. I don't know. I'm not very good with dates, apparently. But the Emperor card here it's like the antithesis for this be playful spirit. The Emperor is someone who's very serious and controlling. And the Sandpiper spirit says be playful. So I feel like, Virgo, some of you could be in this place where things feel very weird right now. You feel like you're moving into this new space, like things you're trying to get under control in your life. Like you're trying to get things under control in your life. The Emperor is very controlling. This is someone who wants things to happen their way. They want it done their way when they say it. You say jump, they say, you say jump, they say how high, right? So you want things to happen the way that you want it to be done. You want it done on your timeline with your parameters. And I feel like, Virgo, you know, that Sandpiper spirit, be playful. Don't get too caught up in the way that you want things done. When things feel out of control, oftentimes we try to grasp for control in any place that we can find it. And I feel like that is, you know, going to just cause you a lot more stress than what you really need to take on at this time. Instead of leaning in towards control, I feel like you need to actually lean away from control, allow things to move organically, take yourself out of that driver's seat of needing to be the boss, needing to be in control of the whole situation at all times, and allow things to just move, allow things to just go playfully. When I'm feeling very much like this is the Chariot from the tarot. Life is speeding up and be playful. I feel very much that is like Chariot energy. And the Chariot in the tarot, actually, I think I can find the Chariot here real quick. I had these cards set up for something that I'm doing. But the Chariot, right? Here you go. This is the Rider-Waite-Smith Chariot for those of you who wanted to see it. It feels very much like Chariot energy to me. Like you're being led in a direction. And instead of holding on to the reins and trying to control where you're going, allow yourself to just go. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the roller coaster the roller coaster that is life. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the freedom, and don't try to hang on too tightly to where you want things to go, because it looks like things are shifting underneath your feet. Things within your house and your home right now are shifting around you. And just allow things to move in this weird vortex that you find yourself in. Because it's really out of your control anyway. And trying to hold on too tightly is just going to cause you more stress in the long run. So anyway, Virgo, we are going to pull one last card for you here. This is from The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. I just really want to pull a card for you for this week to leave you with a positive message from the universe of love and support along your journey here. Yeah, okay. Your card that you got here, Virgo, says, the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. So Virgo, let go of your expectation of what you think you need is. What you think you need is not necessarily what you do need, right? So trying to cling on to control, trying to cling on to the way that you think things should be done is not how it works. If you're praying for change, if you're praying for new things, you have to allow yourself to go on the ride, allow yourself on the journey, and don't hold on to the way you think things need to be done, because you could be cutting off your own blessings by doing that in the long run. So anyway, Virgo, that is where I'm going to leave you for this week. Thank you so much for being here today. And I really hope this reading was able to provide you some guidance or some insight in some way. So if it was helpful for you, please give me a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. I really love talking with all of you in the comments and seeing your experiences. Thank you for being here today, Virgo, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week.